I came to the practice from a background of district nursing, and still wanted to keep the element of going out to people's homes. And John and his wife had recently moved to the practice, and Mrs. J needed a home visit for a blood test because nobody seemed to be able to get this blood. So me, having the district nursing background, thought, I want to get out there, I'll go and see her, you know, I like to get out. And I just walked in the home and it was amazing. The setup that they had, how John was working and had his house sort of made up with Alexa items to help his wife while he was at work. And I went and got the blood and picked up that Mrs. J was diabetic, and then said to John, well, who's looking after you as a carer? He said, well, no, you know, nobody really. So I said, well, you can come to the practice and we'll have your bloods and we'll have a bit of a well-man check and see how everything is. And we picked John up as pre-diabetic. And straight away, John, being somebody who likes social networking, put tweets out to chefs, you know, who can anyone help me with diabetes advice? And he was advised by chefs around the world to go low carb.
I look after my wife who suffers with, let's rephrase that, fighting secondary progressive MS. And I knew at that particular time that I needed to get a grip of my home life, caring role, working role. And about 11 months ago, I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. With my parents being a diabetic and going through all the insulin and ultimate things that can happen, I realised I needed to really get a grip of myself again and get my health in the right area. I'd been cooking for 10 years after my wife had taught me to cook, Mrs. J, as she's known across social media. But I went home and I thought, how am I going to do all this? And my chef mentors had helped me to cook. They taught me as well via Skype. There's a big backstory to everything that I do. Advised me to go low carb. And from that day I went into the low carb way and I managed to remove myself from the pre-diabetes within 6 weeks. In 11 months on, I'm now in a 32-inch waist, and I got the opportunity to be a practice health champion at the surgery, and I jumped at the chance because I had the idea then that we could collaborate together with this surgery and have a team of people around us and patients coming in, and I could be able to talk about how I've done it and give that passion back in a peer support way. And I think peer support, as we all know, in working life works, and it works in our private lives, but why can it not work in a surgery? In a collaboration? And it's having a massive success. The sessions generally to begin with are about every 6 to 8 weeks. Generally they're about a 2 or 3 hour, although I have known them go on for 4 hours. It depends at the time how many patients are in the room and how engaging they want to be. Sometimes the questions can be quite in-depth. They want to know, how do I cook that? How do I cook the other? At John, I realised the potatoes are quite high carb. I want to use a celeriac. How am I going to use a celeriac? So it depends on the length of that. I'm very blessed really, because Laura at the surgery, she cherry picks the patients for us. She picks the ones that know that I need help. I've been like this for 10 years. I've not been able to get my weight down. I can't get my glucose down. I'm in a little bit of a mess, and Laura will say, come to the session, come to the session. John's doing one in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it may be. John will be here. Laura comes in with me as well, because that gives confidence, I think. It gives confidence to the patients. They're not coming on their own and thinking, well, I know John's a patient, but have we got anybody in there from the medical background or anything? And Laura, being a diabetic nurse, can also back up. So when someone's talking about insulin levels and the 44 down to 24 and the various, wherever it's going, the blood glucose, she's there to back that up.
Because I'm quite selective in which patients I've said, let's come to the sessions, because it needs to be kept a small group, I think. And you've got to feel that the patient wants the change. If they don't want the change, there is no point. But the patients that have said to me, please tell me what I need to do. I can't lose weight. I don't want to go on insulin. I need help with my diet. I've said, well, you know, I can't promise to cure everything, but there is something you could try. And I've invited them to the group, And I've just been amazed how patients have sat there on the first time and said, no, this won't fit in with my life. I haven't got the time to do this. I have to work away. And then to see them 3 months later, with the best diabetic control they've ever had, and even patients who've had strokes and things, how the speech has improved, how patients have lost weight and have struggled for 10 years to improve the lifestyle and lose weight and improve diabetes control, and they're doing it within months. And people, it's for me, it's sitting there and looking at my patient across the table and thinking, wow, this has changed their life, and I get so much out of that, and I know John does. You know, we just really get a lot of motivation.
She also gives that air of confidence off around the room. Everybody's happy, everybody's a family. And then obviously I come in and I talk, like behind me there today, we've got various columns on that board behind. We've got ideas about time. How do we create time? Every patient, I don't care who they are, they've all got a private life at home, and some of them have got tough lives, but we've got to make that little bit of time to cook something. What do we do with leftovers? That's just a little bit on that board there. And I talk about my life. I talk about my day, the fact that I have quite a demanding day job, or a very demanding day job, and the fact I've got to go home and look after my wife, because I want to. I love my wife, but I want her to be comfy. I also need to make sure I can eat, and I also need to make sure I get a bit of downtime mentally, and that's when it fits into the kitchen, and I love to spread that passion around in the room.